So tell me this, what happens when you fuse old school retro arcade vibes with cutting edge Dolby surround sound? You get something like this. What up, WINBUSH here. And most recently, I bought this candy cab sit-down Japanese arcade cabinet imported all the way from Tokyo, and I gutted the entire thing out. And the one thing I really wanted to do to make it immersive was add a surround sound system to it. So that's where the ULTIMEA Skywave F40 sound system comes right in. So when you open up the package, you're going to be greeted with two small speakers, which these are going to be your rear speakers that go behind you or beside you, however you want to put it inside of your room. And then also it comes with a subwoofer, in which we'll get more into the subwoofer in a little bit, because this one is actually really nice. Then last but not least, it comes with this soundbar, which is actually split into two different objects. So it's really easy to assemble. It has these grooves on each end. All you have to do is align the grooves up and then twist it, and then you're off to the races. And whenever I've gutted it out, like, these are the speakers that originally came in it. So they're stereo, there's 4 of them inside of there. I mean, they sounded okay, but I definitely felt like there's room for improvement. Now, if you look at the back of the soundbar, it does have several different ports so that you could get your audio inside of here. So it does have HDMI, but the one that I went for was the optical, because I did put a handbuilt computer inside of my arcade system, which actually had 5.1 surround sound optical output of it. So it just fit perfect for the schematics that I wanted to enable for the sound system. And the nice thing is, it comes with the optical cable that you need to get this set up as well. Now, the nice thing about this cabinet, it's a sit-down cabinet, and in between where you have the controllers and the monitor, there's this nice little groove set in there, in which I didn't even know it was going to fit like this. But once I put the soundbar together and actually fit it right in there, it just fit perfectly sound right inside that groove. So I didn't have to glue it in there. I didn't have to drill no holes. I didn't have to put brackets or anything. I was able to sit it in there, push it down into the grooves, and it just snapped right into place. Then if I look at the soundbar, it has several different speakers in front of it. So this is where you're going to have your 3 speakers. You're going to have the center one and then the 2 on the side. But if I look at the grills on the side, this is going to be where we get our spatial audio. So you might notice that there's a grill up top and then there's a grill down in the front. Now, if we look at the schematics, you can see here how the audio is going to bounce all over your room. So the nice thing about this, it doesn't just have the front speakers that are going to be pushing audio towards you. It also has the top grills, which is going to alleviate the audio up to the ceiling, which is going to bounce down around you, which is going to simulate the immersive surround sound that you might want whenever you're gaming or watching a movie. I know all about the home theater systems, and when it comes to the subwoofer, I put this inside of my arcade cabinet because I'm going to be sitting fairly close to it, and so it has this little shelf inside of my arcade cabinet. And with the way that the subwoofer is designed, it's designed to not give any type of rattle at all. So once I put it in there, I was able to tuck it away and not worry about it having to rattle my setup, because the bass that comes out of it is completely clean. And when it comes to the rear speakers, now there's a couple of scenarios that I'm going with, right? So if I'm playing a game that has 5.1, like I have Burnout Paradise, which actually has 5.1 surround sound enabled in it, I wanted to be able to experience the full immersive sound whenever I'm driving around the Paradise City. So I put these on the stands, I put these behind me, and it actually worked out pretty well. So the thing that I liked about having speaker stands with the rear speakers is I can position them any way that I wanted. So I could put these on mounts, but I wanted the flexibility to be able to, if I'm playing a game that doesn't have surround sound and maybe I have to do like some type of simulated stereo, I could take the stands, put them right next to my arcade system, and then be able to get the full blast experience of just having stereo audio coming out of it. This is a button here called Up Mix. So if I click it on, it's going to put it into 5.1 surround sound, which is going to take advantage of the Dolby Atmos. But if I click it again, it's going to put it into the stereo mode. And this is a quick way that I'm able to jump in between games and then have the audio selection the way that I want. But it also has different presets on here as well. So if you're playing a game, watching a movie, watching a sporting event, you can hit the button and it's going to put the EQ to those different settings depending on what your scenario is. This does have the capabilities of having the firmware updated, in which as soon as I hooked up the Bluetooth to my phone and then put on the app, it was giving me an update for the firmware immediately, which is going to alleviate some of the changes that are coming to the hardware. Now, cable management on this wasn't a big deal. I just have several different wires coming out of the back of the soundbar, which I was able to sleekly put down beside the arcade cabinet. And then I put a nice little braided sleeve on there, so everything matches with the arcade cabinet. So I don't have any type of loose wires or anything. Everything fit really nicely inside the braided sleeve, and it just looked really slick there. And do I think this is overkill for my arcade? I would say probably not, because I like going extra and beyond whenever I do any type of these home projects. And so for me, this was the ultimate setup for my arcade cabinet. Now, as to if I keep the rear speakers behind me or not, honestly, I'm not even sure yet, because I do like the stereo sound that was blasting. Like if you look at the top of my arcade cabinet, it does have these panels to where you can put speakers, and I really did enjoy having the audio blasting directly at me rather than behind me. But that's going to be a personal preference, and I've had this for a few weeks now. I'm still kind of gauging it out how I want to have this set up, but once I do, I'll definitely keep you guys updated if you're interested. So make sure you leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you have any questions about this system, whether it's the audio system, how I have it set up, or if you're thinking about getting it yourself. And until next time, stay fresh, keep creating, and I'll catch you in that next video. I'll see you soon. Take care.